Today we're doing E.L.F. Okay, I got my freshly washed hair up and looking fantastic. And we're going to go in with primer. I've got the E.L.F. Putty Primer and I've got the E.L.F. Power Grip Primer. More of you have asked me about the Putty Primer, so we're going to go on with that today. I'll try the gripping primer a different day. It's a very silky feeling. It's kind of like the Tatcha Silk Canvas as far as it feels. However, I am not noticing any blurring or filling in of pores or anything. It's kind of like just putting a very light cream on my face. We'll see how it does. Can't say I'm really overly impressed with this. It didn't really blur or anything, and it made me really shiny. We'll see how it plays under makeup though. Okay, for concealer, I use the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I've gone on and on and on about that ad nauseum, so I won't belabor that. You know I love it. I think this might be a concealer. I don't know. E.L.F. never puts the names of their products on their packaging, but if it is, you can tell that is totally not my shade, so I went with the Hydrating Camo. Oh, also, I don't have an E.L.F. foundation, which is odd. I thought I did, so I used Wet n Wild's Tinted Hydrator today. Okay, I'm going to go in with E.L.F.'s Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer today, and we'll see how eyeshadow works. It is not as creamy as P. Louise, but it doesn't have to be creamy to work. Plus, it did a really decent job of hiding discoloration and veins and capillaries and stuff. We'll see how it works with eyeshadow. Okay, I've got this E.L.F. contour and highlighting kit that I've had for freaking ever. But we're going to go in here and we're going to see how it works. Whoa! As contour. Dang! Okay, I've got a different brush and trying to blend some of that out. Wow! Be careful with that. It is serious about what it does. I better end up with Cher cheeks today. Okay, thankfully it blended out nicely, and you know what? It looks really good, but son, be careful of these cream shades down here because they pack a punch. Wow. And when I tell you, I was terrified to do my nose contour with that, but it turned out all right. All right, I got the Instant Lip Brow Pencil from E.L.F. I've used this before. I didn't like it. I can't remember why I didn't like it, but anyway, I've got the shade. I think I'm going to have a part 2, but let's see. It's not as fine a tipped brow pencil as I would like, and I think that that was my main problem with it before. But I'm going to carve out the bottom. Okay, got the brows carved out, and I think I remember why I wasn't thrilled with this Instant Lip Brow Pencil from E.L.F. This is part 2 of a full face of E.L.F., or as full as I can get it. It's because the tip is bigger than I usually like, because I kind of have to create brows where there are none on my face, and I don't have the level of control that I would like with this pencil because it's got a bigger tip. And I will refrain from saying that's what she said. And since I don't have an ink thing for brows for E.L.F., I use my Urban Decay Brow Blade to create little brow hairs where there is none. And when that dries, I'll put a brow gel on. Oh, and I do have the E.L.F. Wow Brow on my shopping list. I just haven't purchased it yet. For blush, I've got the Putty Blush and I've got the Primer Infused Blush. And this is Bora Bora, this is Turks and Caicos, and the Putty, and I have no idea what color this is, and the Primer Infused. I think we'll go Bora Bora. Let's see what happens. Ideally, I should be using an E.L.F. brush, and I do have an E.L.F. Putty brush, but I don't know which one is which, so we're going to go in with a Real Techniques blush, and I'm going to be careful after that entire contour thing with this blush, which is not giving the payoff that the contour did. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not leaving a big pop on my face. This went on beautifully, blended out like a dream, and this Bora Bora, what a pretty color. Good for the Putty blush. Okay, I want to cut down on some of the shine, so I'm going to use the E.L.F. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I don't know if this is translucent or if this has a shade. Again, E.L.F. sometimes really drops the ball on putting the names of their products on their packaging, and this is one of those times. Okay, I've got the E.L.F. Primer Infused Bronzer, and this is in Forever Sun-Kissed. It actually had a name on it. We're getting some of the excess off. I'm not going to get burned again with that. Pretty bronzer. Looks nice, goes on well. Okay, I have an E.L.F. Baked Highlighter. This is in Moonlight Pearls, and I can't find my decent highlighter brush, so we're just going to go with go with this one. This is nice. Well, it's pretty. I have a literal crap ton of E.L.F. eyeshadows, but I think today I'm going to use the Mini Bites, and this is in Rose Water because I just want to do something simple. I don't have anywhere to be or anything to do. Wow, a lot came off of that brush. I'm using a Real Techniques brush again. Hide the Hood shade, which is this one right here. And the reason I'm using this Rose Water is because my shirt has burgundy on it underneath the black. Well, not underneath it, but below the black. So I thought the Rose Water palette would be good today. The shadow's going on really well over the Shadow Lock primer. I'm going to go into the darker shade, same brush. Nothing fancy today. Just a basic eyeshadow look. I'm going to deepen up the eye socket and the outer corner and draw everything up toward the brow. You know, the brows are looking pretty good. I always say that my brows are like two ships that pass in the night, and one of them is always Titanic, but not bad today. There are two shimmer shades in this palette, and that means that I must use them both. Because if there's shimmer, you better believe I'm going to use it. I'm putting the darker one on this part of the lid. Just a nice finger application, and I'm going to use the lightest one here on the end and go into the inner part of my eye. Kind of open things up a little bit. And then for under the eyes, I did a combo of these two matte shades, and then I lined with the darker shade. I have the E.L.F. Lash It Loud mascara, but this is really, really old. It should have been thrown away a long time ago, so I'm not about to put this on my eyes. Plus, when I had it before it was old and I used it, I didn't like it a bit. It got everywhere. It smeared. Now, however, I had not started using this lash primer yet, so I don't know. I may get some more of this, but today I just used the Thrive Cosmetics Lash Extensions because I wanted a tubing mascara that comes off with water. I don't have an E.L.F. lip liner, so I just ruthlessly overline my lips with my beloved NYX in Nude Babe. This is the E.L.F. Seriously Satin lipstick, and this is in cream. And it is supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW. Little matte for me, so I'm going in with the E.L.F. Lip Plumping Gloss in Pink Cosmo to give a little bit more shine. I like. E.L.F. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. And we're done. Pretty much full face of E.L.F. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, let's do a rundown of the full face of E.L.F. Or as full face as I could get it today with the products that I already had. I wasn't a really big fan of the Poreless Putty Primer. It, for me, did not fill any of my pores. It didn't blur anything. The makeup went on really well over it. And I mean, you know, time will tell how it wears, but if it's supposed to be a poreless putty primer, it fell well short of that. It felt good, feels good on my face, felt hydrating, and this isn't going to replace my holy grail. The Hydrating Camo Concealer, you know how I feel about that. It is my absolute favorite concealer. The Contour Palette, holy smokes. This thing, big payoff. I really like it. It blended out well, and I ended up liking it after that first fright that I had. The Putty Blush, also a winner. This is in Bora Bora. I like the color. Like I said, it went on beautifully, blended out like a dream, and I really like this Putty Blush. I also like the Instant Brow Lift. I amazed because I didn't like it before. I do wish it had a larger or a smaller tip for more control, but you know, all in all, it wasn't bad, and I like the color. This is taupe, so yeah, I'll keep using this. Halo Glow Setting Powder, I like it. I have before. The only problem is it's got that halo glow, and this putty primer really did make me kind of shiny. The primer infused bronzer, it was really pretty. Went on very well. Liked it. This baked highlighter, I liked it a lot. It went on really well and gave me a nice highlight without being, you know, seen from space. And it doesn't really seem to be accentuating any texture or stuff, which is kind of nice for a highlighter. So this was a win. The Bite Size palette and Rose Water, love it. I love pretty much all E.L.F. eyeshadows. They have really stepped it up with their eyeshadows lately, and this is no exception. I really love this. I like E.L.F. Seriously Satin Lipstick. I love this shade Cream. I really like the way it looked, and the lip plumping gloss in Pink Cosmo. It's nice. It's got a little bit of a tingle, but not anything bad. So these two together worked really well. I really love this shade Cream and the Seriously Satin. Ooh, I'm gonna put this in my purse. And the Dewy Coconut Setting Spray, pretty good. It added a little bit more dewy than I wanted because of the primer and the Halo Glow, but hey, I'll just do today. Plus it smells really good. It smells like the beach. But there's my takeaway on all the E.L.F. products that I used. I'm really pleased.